So we're going for another sailing trip. We're going to anchor out tonight. So it's relatively good weather. What's the time? It's now 3 o'clock and I've got kilowatts on each motor. There we go, kilowatt there. And I'm still charging at about 500 watts. So we've definitely got more than 2.5 kilowatts coming in from solar, plus whatever runs the house bank. We're doing 4.6 knots. Oops, bouncing around a bit. Yeah, about 4.6 knots. And my wife is looking beautiful.
Oh,
right there. And I've got 2 poodles which are happy. And we think we're heading for an anchorage called Portobuso, but it is beautiful out. We'll probably be anchoring in the lagoon today because it's quite choppy out in the sea, so we definitely can't anchor in open water, and there's no other protected water in these areas except for the lagoon. But yeah, nice to be out again. So we're doing 4.7, 5.1, so probably about 5 knots mostly. I think we've got a little bit of current behind us. It's a lovely day, and we are going past one of the Marano marinas. Normally we would turn right here and go out to sea, but we're not going to do that today. We're going to stay in the lagoon. I have stayed in this anchorage once, but there's us and maybe 2 other boats. It's a lot busier today. I suppose it's a Saturday and everyone in good weather and everyone wants to be out. We're not going out to sea today. It's behind us over there. We are being a riverboat today. We're staying in the lagoon and we're following these channels in the lagoon to get to a nice little spot for the night. One of my pet peeves of being in lagoons and that is all of this grass. It just catches on and you need to reverse to basically shake it free, and then more grass comes and you got to shake that free. So I need to do a bit of reversing to get rid of that again, and then I'll do it again just now. At least with the outboards you can actually see what's going on. If they were under the hull I wouldn't actually know. I also hear it. It sounds different when we're going through this stuff. Guess where that's going?
The fans.
You have all the fans. So I'm busy going as slow as I can possibly go. We just went past a sign that said danger, shallow water. I had to translate it to see what it said. Now we only draw about 0.8 and I'm not sure how shallow the water is. The last thing my depth sounder said was that it was 0.4. And now it stopped reading. I think it might be too shallow to get a proper reading. I'm not sure. Because of that I'm going very, very, very slowly. I'm going as slow as I can possibly go at the moment, which is about 1.4, 1.5 knots. And it is low tide, so low tide was at 4:30, it's 4:40 now, so if we do get stuck, you know, we can hang around for a little bit and the tide will eventually lift us, but I want to do my best not to get stuck. Phew, we made it through. It was tight at one point. At one point, Candace, you saw the ground and it was, how deep?
Eye deep.
Eye deep? You could see it.
I don't know, like, I mean, I saw the grass and I saw sand.
Okay.
And I don't have good eyesight.
Candace doesn't have good eyesight. But now we're back in deep water again. We've got 2.3 below us, so I will be speeding up a bit so we can get to our anchorage up there in the front where that mast is sticking out. Yeah, not a place where you want to go if you've got a monohull, or at least a fin keel, or anything deeper than probably deeper than a meter. Let me get out the way of the speedboat and I'll chat again later. So when I thought we were clear, we ended up almost getting stuck. We picked up so much grass in the propeller that the motors wouldn't provide us any propulsion, and while trying to reverse and maneuver to get the grass off, we were in a very narrow section. We actually drifted towards the side, very, very close. It took us a while to get out of there, but yeah, we were in standing depth water. Nothing the boat didn't touch, but it wasn't fun. And it looks like we're out of the shallow section now, and we don't have far to go to the anchorage, so hopefully we'll be there soon and we can have some fun and swim around and enjoy boating again. And Candace says I handled it so well, I didn't scream or shout or do anything wrong. I was the perfect husband at the time.
He lies. He lies. He lies.
And here's clearly a boat that's not worried about all the shallow water. They seem to be having a great time. And we've arrived at, I think it's the Isle of Saint Andre. There seems to be just one restaurant on the island, or some house. It looks like it could be a restaurant, and very little else. But we're going to take the dinghy and take the dogs to shore. They've been on the boat all day, so I'm sure they want to go on to the shore. The nice thing is the sun is shining, so we will be charging up our batteries. We should have a full battery bank any minute now, because we didn't drain them too much today at all. And then we can spend the night here. It should be quite nice. It's been bumpy so far because a lot of the boats are coming through quite quickly, but I suspect it'll smooth out in a minute. So we had to move anchorages last night because that island over there is a private island and we couldn't take our dogs for a walk. So we came to Portobuso, which is this island over here, and we anchored just outside of the channel. There's three of the boats that are anchored here. And it's been quite windy, but the weird thing is the current is a lot stronger than the wind, so we are facing back to the wind at the moment, and it's strong. We've got a 12 knot wind, and it's very weird having wind coming into the back of the knot wind. But because we catch the wind, we spin around and we spin back and we spin around and we spin back. Otherwise, this is where we are. And we also had lots of wind last night. We had 18 or so, 20 knots at one point. And the wind has finally died down. We've arrived at a beautiful anchorage. And Candace is busy drying over there. Beautiful day. Beautiful. Once the wind died down, we had a really beautiful sunset, and I got to take my new drone out for a play. They had a special on what I consider the best all-around drone, so I couldn't help but buy one to get great shots like this. It's time to leave Port Buso. We spent another night in it. The weather is beautiful. How are you doing, Candace?
I'm good.
Good. So we are heading out into a nice smooth sea for today. Yesterday the boat was bouncing all over the show. It made a terribly uncomfortable ride, but today is looking much better. At the moment I've got a kilowatt on each motor. We're going into a very strong current, so we're only doing 2.5 knots. I've got the fan in front of me because there's very little wind, and we've got, I think we've got about 12 miles to do today. Batteries are nice and full. We're in 6.5 meters of water. Immediately our speed has increased from 2.5 now to 4 knots. So we're definitely getting out of the inflowing tide. And I think that's where we're heading, those tall buildings in the distance there. So this is my typical cruise setting, 1000 watts on each motor, and depending on the sea state and the wind, we do about 4 to 4.5 knots at this speed. Now we're going into about 6 knots of wind. little bit of swell, nothing too bad at all. But I'm also charging the battery now at about 200 watts. So it's, what's the time? It is 11:20 and my batteries are practically full. I could actually increase the power just now because the sun is going to get further overhead. And it's just one of those beautiful days to be on an electric boat because there's just not enough wind to sail, unless your boat can do well at 6 knots. And also 6 knots on the nose, which is not always the most fun. But it's beautiful to be out, and we're not burning any diesel, we're not costing any money, we're just going along using the solar power. Candice needs to do her hair today, so she's even going to run her hairdryer while we're motoring along, and it'll be absolutely no problem at all. The solar power will keep us pretty much topped up all the way until we get back to our berth for the next week. Candice, what are you doing today?
It's hair wash day.
Hair wash day? How do you wash your hair on a boat?
Well, I have to do everything backwards because we've got such little water. I've just wet my hair down and I washed my face, and now I'm going to put a hair mask on. This hair mask is especially if you've been in chlorine and salt water. And I'm going to let that bake for a little bit, and then I'm going to put my face mask on, and then I'm going to hop into the shower and wash everything off. Okay,
and now all the people who tune into my channel to learn about electric boats and solar panels and that know absolutely all they need to know about hair. One of the nice things about the electric boat with wireless controllers is just how versatile it is. When we're lifting anchor and dropping anchor, I actually take the controller to the front with me, and I can drive the boat perfectly with differential thrust from the front of the boat to pick up the anchor. And at the moment my controls are in the sun. They're also solar powered, so they're charging up a little bit, and that means that because there's no wind today, I can put the fan in front of me and keep cool while I'm standing at watch. Autopilot is doing the job. It seems to be doing a relatively good job, and it is much quieter than it used to be before I changed the belt. This is what 1150 watts looks like on the motors. We're running at about 4.5 knots at the moment, and we're not charging, we're not draining the batteries at all. The sky has cleared up, and I believe Candice has had a shower. The days are good. Hi darling. How was your shower?
It was amazing.
Excellent. Good.
Shower, woohoo!
We've got a bit of a wake. How many showers have we had so far?
This is our
third shower, and we're now on 3/4 tanks. So our new shower head is supposed to be more efficient than the old one was, and it looks like that is the case.
But what is amazing is that I washed my hair.
Ah!
And that takes long, I've got thick hair.
And we've just turned into the channel to head back past Lignano. You can see in the distance there, it looks like a beautiful day on the beach. There's a huge amount of people out, and for once I've timed things quite well. We've got a current behind us, so I've got 1000 watts on the motors. Let's go and have a look at those. 1000 watts on each motor, but we're doing 5.5 knots. Wouldn't that be nice if that was all the time? It's been a very easy day's motoring, although I like to think that if you're using solar power you're still sailing, because you're not burning any fossil fuels, and the sun is making your boat move, so yeah, it's a new type of sailing. We saw a lot of sailboats heading out in that direction, which is the direction of Propeller in Croatia. I think they're heading that way because the weather was quite shocking the last few days. They're all motoring, there's nobody with a sail out today. There's 3 knots of wind at the moment, so everyone's going to be motoring all over the show today. And I need to put the camera down because there's a big speedboat heading this way and it's going to create a wake, so I need to steer around it. But we'll go into the lagoon soon, and then it might be a good day for some power tests to see how things are going. And now we're out of the current, and I've still got the 1500 watts on the motor, and we're doing 5.2 knots at the moment. So that's true speed, 5.3. That's about what I'd expect from this power level. Maybe a little bit more. I need to clean my rudders again. The surf wax I put on my rudders seems like a dismal failure. I had lots of calcium buildup and not a speck of anything on the boat itself, just a little bit of green slime. So I'll clean the rudders and hopefully gain a little bit of speed. We're coming into Propeller now. We're going to dock again for one more week before we hit the road. Now we've got pretty much 2,000 on each motor, and we're doing 5.6 knots in pretty much flat water, just a few wakes. I would never normally cruise much faster than this. This is more than fast enough. It makes a bit of a noise and drains the batteries pretty quickly. I think we're probably sucking 2 kilowatts out of the batteries at the moment, with the sun providing another 2 or so, depending on how the shading is from the panels. I'll have to go and check in a minute. I've actually turned off the motors because there is a huge boat coming in front of us, and they're not that maneuverable, so they definitely have right of way, and I hope it doesn't smell like diesel when we're moving on. It is going to smell like diesel. I think it's one of the dredging boats. We're actually going quite fast. We're doing 5.7 knots there, but we might give them a bit of time to get away. So we've got 2 kilowatts on each motor. We're doing 5.6, 5.7 knots. We're draining the battery at about 1500 watts because we have 2.5 kilowatts of solar coming in. And I have my beautiful captain at the wheel. Steer a bit to the right, please, beautiful captain. Alright. And we are heading back in. And we will try and film when we do go in. I see there's a boat coming, so I'm just going to steer a bit more to the right and put the phone down. So it's now 2 o'clock, very easy day going. We even stopped for a swim halfway, and we did very short hop, 12 nautical miles in total. It was about 22 kilometers. The amazing thing is, coming in here already the batteries were full, so we left this morning. We ran quite hard. I did some speed tests. I was pulling 2 kilowatts on each motor for quite a while, and we still managed to get here and have absolutely full batteries. So we're going to switch on the water heater now, because we now shower inside the boat, and yeah, enjoy ourselves in the marina for the last week. Hopefully our new sail will be fully adjusted and fully ready, and our sail bag as well will be on top of it, and then we head to Croatia, and I can't wait. I'm really looking forward to it. Thanks for watching. What are you doing now, Candace?
A shitty job.
Yeah.
I'm collecting all the dog poo bags that we've had for the last 2 days because we didn't have a dustbin on the island because it's a tiny little island and we don't want to pollute the world. So
I think it was 3 days, to be honest. 3 days and 2 nights. So.
Oh, okay.
It does stink. Let's get it off the boat.